How'd you find me?
You weren't hard to find. We keep tabs.
I thought I told you I was retired.
You and I both know you're never truly out. Not in this line of work.
Why me? Why now?
I see you traded in the uniform for quadruple denim.
Yeah, it's what you wear when you're doing this sort of thing. It's a stage of life.
Yeah, okay.
It's good to see you. I can see the agency's made you weak.
I can see living out in the woods has made you socially awkward.
Joke's on you. I've always been that way.
We've got one last job for you.
I've been out of the game too long.
You're the only one that can do it.
I lost too much last time. She didn't make it out, and I've never been the same since. You ought to know that. You're on your own.
Your WASR. We know where she is.
When do I leave?
Well, everybody, welcome back. Try to ignore my voice. I've been getting over some sinus drainage issues over the past week here. Today, we are not at the picnic table of knowledge. We are at the, hello buddy, we are at the fire pit of tranquility and understanding. And my dogs are gonna be out here roaming around since we are in my backyard. So hopefully they don't get in the way too much. But this is Kramer, he's a good boy. So it is clear from the first WASR video that I put out about the WASR 10 here that this little rifle has a cult following. And I received a ton of views, a ton of likes, and most importantly, a ton of comments about this that told me that I don't know as much about this gun as I should, or about AKs in general. Now I thought I did know quite a bit, but the WASR fans, the AK fans on the internet, taught me a lot about this gun that I didn't know, and they actually helped me fix a lot of the problems that I had with it. So that's what this video is mainly going to be about, is about how I listened to your comments and fixed most of my problems. Kramer, hey, get out of there. Go on. Just trying to mess around in the fire pit like a little weirdo. So, first thing I want to do is do a brief overview of this rifle. First video, I think I did a mediocre job of talking about it. So let's just do a brief overview. So starting from the top here, we've got our slant brake. So this is a very rudimentary, oh my God, this dog. Very rudimentary brake that the Soviets designed for the AKM rifle. That is just a just a little slanted cutout piece to help compensate the recoil on this rifle. So that is up here at the top. that is threaded into a 14x1 left-hand thread on this 16.25 inch barrel here on the AK. This is a chrome-lined barrel, so that should be a pretty long-lasting barrel, which we'll get to more here in a second. Learned a lot from the comments here. So we've got a stamped receiver, forged trunnion, and then as I mentioned, this is a non-dimpled receiver, and it just uses pins and rivets to kind of achieve what the dimple did in the other AKM pattern rifles. So one thing I don't know if I talked about in the first video is that this is a Rack 1 trigger group. So since this is a Romanian built rifle primarily, but it had to be imported into the US, that meant that due to laws, American gun laws, it had to have a certain amount of American parts, and this is one of those. The Rack 1 trigger group is something that the Century Arms people put in, and believe it or not, it is actually a pretty impressive trigger. Now, it's not as crisp as like a really nice AR trigger, but it is very, very smooth. Very smooth, with a pretty nice reset. In contrast to the Zastava video that I put out about the Zastava M77, this trigger is worlds ahead of the stock Zastava trigger. So just wanted to make a note of that. And then I'll just glance over real quick. I've got my surplus Romanian reverse dong grip on here, and then a Bakelite pistol grip that I found online from Reddit and just from some AK part website. And then we've got our underfolder stock. It is metal. It is not super comfortable, but it's not actually as bad as it looks. It'll do the job. Not as comfortable as some stocks, but it'll do the job. And then I've just got my my little wrap here on the back, paracord wrap for my little cheekbone to keep it comfy. So let's talk about some of the problems that I was having before my initial video and how I've fixed them with the help of you guys. So first thing that I was really having a problem with, and in my opinion, the most major problem that I was having most major problem that I was having was I was not able to get this gun zeroed. Now, part of that is because the front sight is slightly canted. Now you can barely tell by looking at it, but it became clear when zeroing it that the sight is slightly canted. So if you remember, I was not able to move this front sight barrel at all. It was stuck completely. I bought one sight tool, tried to adjust it, and it broke the sight tool. That's how stuck it was. So, using the comments, Kramer, you little goober. Using the comments, I found that the best solution was the Magnum-matic front sight tool. This thing is a tank. Bought this guy online for about $30, $40, and it allowed me to adjust the front sight barrel and the front sight post. Now, even with this, it wasn't easy. I had to follow more comments, led me to the solution of using a penetrating lube and then heating up the front sight post before I try to move it. And that is what finally got me to the point where I was able to zero this in, move that barrel, adjust this front sight up and down, and get it zeroed. Now, while we're on that subject, I broke the original front sight post while trying to move it all and adjust it, so I got myself a much smaller post that I'm able to be a little bit more accurate with, because I was having trouble with just the sheer size of that front sight post covering up most of my target at 100 yards. So I moved to a smaller one to be more precise that way. So I got this adjusted, and it all ranges 25, 75, 50, out to 100 at my range. I am ringing steel consistently every single time, both unsupported and supported. Just point of aim at the 200 yard or 200 meter mark on the rear sight. Which brings me to another comment, several comments that I found about how to zero this guy most effectively. So what I ended up doing, thanks to you guys, is setting my zero target at 25 yards, putting the rear sight to 200, and zeroing it there, 25 yards at 200, which gives me something that I is kind of reminiscent in my mind of the 5,200 yard zero on my AR, which I use a lot. So this has me, like I said, point of aim, making impacts anywhere from 25 to 100 yards out at my range. Now my range only goes to 100. Theoretically, I should also be making hits at about 200 yards also, with minimal holdover, hold under. I think the comment specifically said if you hold belt line, you're going to be making hits out to 300-400 meters. So yeah, using that 25 yard zero with the ladder set at 200 should be good with a belly hold out to 300, and then top of head at 400 without touching the ladder. So I haven't been able to take it out that far just quite yet, but at 100 yards out at my range, it's almost perfect. Also had some comments saying that these barrels should last 15 to 20K and still hold like 2.5 MOA accuracy, which I'm nowhere near 15 to 20K, but this is doing about 2.5 MOA accuracy. Now, this is a big trust me bro moment, because I didn't actually film me doing that. I got too caught up in making that 3-minute masterpiece at the beginning of the video here. You just have to trust me on it. I am getting very decent accuracy after I've gotten this guy zeroed, so just trust me on that. Another fix I did that I didn't even know was a fix, Kramer, hey. Another fix I did that I didn't really even know was a fix that I was going to have to do was replacing this fire control retaining hook on the inside of the receiver here with a fire control retaining plate. Some people, actually a few people told me that that was going to be something I would have problems with in the future if I didn't replace it. So I went ahead and spent the $4 to get that plate and swapped that out. And I'll get a close up on that here in a sec. So thank you to you guys. I'll throw your comment up on the screen with that fix. Let's just talk about reliability while we're here. This gun's stupid reliable. Now that I know that it's accurate, now that I know my barrel is not shot out and is not close to being shot out, I feel really good about the accuracy on this guy. It has been zero problems since I got it. And any problems that I have had, I can 100% confident say is due to the ammunition being used. Every malfunction I've had has been 100% the ammo's fault. And all the reliable ammo that I've been using, I've had like zero malfunctions. I want to say at this point I've probably got about 3,000 or so rounds on this rifle, and I can count on this hand right here how many malfunctions I've had. So very cool, feel good about this rifle. Now that I've got all my problems fixed, I can 100% say that if you fall within the good QC ranges from Q Gear and Century Arms imports, which mine does, I checked the serial number and found that this was manufactured during the like 2016, 2017, 2018 time period, which was a really good time period for these rifles coming to the U.S. If you got one that is one of those good periods of time where these were being imported, then this is going to be a bomb-proof rifle and is not going to give you any problems. So, the WASR 10, the fan favorite, the Colt Classic, highly recommend. Cool rifle, very fun. And then I'm going to leave you with this. Actually, a couple things. One of my favorite comments was the mic that I used in the first WASR video. I had a setting on there that was, I didn't realize until after the video had been posted, but it made me sound like RFK Jr. And I got that fixed, so I don't sound like RFK anymore. So thank you to whoever commented that about that. I thought that was funny. And then one final note for my parents and grandparents watching. I don't actually smoke cigarettes. I do it for the video because I think it looks cool and it's part of the character. But for my grandparents and parents out there watching, don't worry. I didn't inhale, to quote a fearless leader that we had from the state of Arkansas back in the 80s and 90s. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun doing it, and so did Terrace, so appreciate you.